Hello and congrats on going forward with Accent on your project. Next part, we need to go over the contract that we have standard for all of our projects and expectations going forward. So first things first, let's pull out your contract with your sales rep. Open her up here. Let me turn this camera on. So we are gonna review a few things. One, we gotta make sure the date's right. Two, we gotta make sure the client name is right, and then who the contact person is. The rough start, we'll figure that out eventually. We just have a generic number on here for now. So let's go. First things first, at Accent, we act as an independent contractor and we will follow at or above all building codes. What this particular part means, the building codes, is if we dig into a wall and we say, for example, we find that something's not up to code, like maybe a plumbing line is 1.25 inches and it needs to be 1.5 inches, we will correct that, but there will be an additional work authorization for that. So have an expectation that the city may require us to do a forced extra charge upgrade to keep your building up to code. With that said, we promise to do the work in a high quality fashion at a minimum per industry standards. Now, industry standards is one of those things that is translatable by mainly a judge in the book. It's not perfection, but it will be at least at a minimum per industry standards. And not only that, we will warranty it for 2 years after the date of installation. So we'll guarantee workmanship per industry standards, and we'll guarantee it for 2 years from the date of the installation. Now, when it comes to these next parts, the insurance and liabilities, we are covered. We have a $2 million insurance plan. And we don't bond all projects, but like say we have bonding available and stuff like that, but we are covered in most any circumstance. Now, we have a client responsibilities and sheet. So I'm gonna skip right to this. Part A is we're gonna designate one person to be the point of contact. That goes right there. So the contact person, it gets put right there. Put your phone number and your email, if you have one, on this line under contact. Good. Now part B, do you have the expectations, the contact form? Direct all questions to the project managers. At Accent, we have a team that does the projects to get them together well. So Travis is our remodel production manager. He is in charge of timelines, work arrivals, scheduling, and additional work if needed. Aaron is a job site production manager. He's the one who guarantees the workmanship to make sure that it's up to par with per industry standards. And then Jennifer, she will be in charge, if we have this, for tile installers, flooring installers, and countertop installers. And she also orders all of our materials. And then the consultant, it doesn't have to be Tim Liebel, but it could be Tom or Jessica or Kim. But you contact them in case of any product questions, design clarifications, or additional work needed. Next part will be part C of this. So if we're gonna make any changes to the original contract, we write up what's called an additional work authorization. Typically, it's just a simple QuickBooks estimate. And we just need you to either reply back an email approved, or if it's a rather large one, we may need it signed off. We're formally informal about it. It depends on how you want to go about doing it, but we usually just say, hey, this is how much it costs to paint your house now that you don't want to paint it. Next would be the client supplied items. This would be if you painted or if you provide your own material. What this says is basically you will claim responsibility for the condition of what that part is as is. We will not guarantee the workmanship on that part. We will not warranty it. We will not do the labor warranty on top of that because we did not provide and install it. So please be aware that whatever you provide, we will not warranty or guarantee. Utilities. That's saying thank you very much for letting us use your water and electricity. We appreciate it. Existing conditions. That clause basically says that if something's already broken in your house, please don't blame it on us to fix it, because we probably will. But I hate to say it like that, but if there's something already busted in your house, please don't be facetious is the word I'm going to use. Just, but we'll work with you. With that said, though, when we deliver stuff, sometimes we can't avoid certain situations, like walking in your grass or having a heavy vehicle park on your driveway slab and cracking your driveway slab. There are things that are part of remodeling and it requires deliveries. Like sometimes you have to take off a front door to your house. So please have an understanding and be aware that things can and will happen on a production job site. It's just part of the way it goes. Advertising. That's saying that we may or may not put a sign in the yard. If you're trying to conceal the fact that Accent's doing a project, you'll probably be disappointed because our trucks are driving billboards. So no matter what, people are going to know that we're there, just so you know. And then we do reserve the right to do like pictures and stuff. But yeah, that'll be it there. Now, completion date. This whole clause right here. All right, 1 second here. So that whole clause on completion date. I have a sheet that is right here. Now, hopefully you're going over this with the sales rep in person, because I know it's hard to see these exact words, but you should be going over this in person with your sales rep. Now, here we go. So, sorry, this is a camera phone. First things first, there has never been a more difficult time to pull off a remodel and projects efficiently. Below are the expectations that homeowners need to understand and sign off on. Part one, the start date. The start dates are rough. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna get really passionate here. The start dates are rough. It could go in either direction. We cannot be held to a specific start date because of outside influences going on. That's as simple as I'm gonna leave it. There's things that go on outside that we can't guarantee official start dates. Now, also for finish dates and schedules, you will get a schedule with your project. Those are general guidelines, not exact. It has been almost impossible to keep finish dates with the materials and labor force being is what it is. So our goal is to wrap up a project as well as possible. We want to warranty it and we want to guarantee workmanship. And sometimes that requires a longer time frame. Sometimes it requires us to reorder a material part that we have to wait for to get in. So we call that a punch list, which is on this next line item here. Punch list and wrap up. Every single job, every one of them, has a wrap up and punch list item to complete after most of the work is done. Now, this does not mean that you can't partially use the space while we're waiting. Okay, some homeowners will say like, hey, I'm waiting for this to be done and I'm gonna hold this punch list item against you even though it's out of your control. Like let's say like for example, a cabinet door comes in busted. You can literally use your entire bathroom while we wait for the cabinet door. Don't hold it against us while we're waiting for it to come in. I mean, have some understanding. And believe it or not, homeowners do try to hold that against you, which is unfair. Don't be that person. Next part is the communication. Sorry here. All right, so for daily communication, if you are expecting a call every day or an email every day, it will not happen. It won't happen. It's not possible. Our goal is to get our guys on the site, and if we need clarification, we'll call you. But it's just not physically possible. There's not enough man hours and not enough production managers to communicate every single day of our progress. However, we do use, and hopefully the sales rep's going over this with you, we do use Buildertrend to keep the homeowners as updated as we reasonably can. Before you start a job, Travis is going to go over this amazing application that we have for your phone or computer called Buildertrend. Buildertrend has the schedule on there, has progress photos, has all sorts of communication devices on there that you would be able to, so if you need clarification, absolutely ask. It's your job, ask. Do it through Buildertrend. And that's a great way to keep updated without having to do the rigmarole of everyday communication. So now let's talk about worker arrivals and job site presence. Now, it is our goal to have people on the job site as much as we can, but they won't be there every day. That has to do with our business structure and how we move around our installers. Listen, if you want a guy at your house every day, we could charge for that. The fact of the matter is we bid based on parts. If you notice our quotes, our main template has 24 parts to it. And a lead tech isn't involved in every single part. And if you want our lead technician there every single day, we just don't have enough hours in the bid for that. Now, if you wanted that type of service, we could bid, but I think you'd be incredibly blown away at how many hours a person logs if you're going to be babysitting like that. Another thing too is there's impossible gaps that any and every single contractor on earth ever can avoid. One is a template to an install timeline for countertops and for shower glass. So say you have a kitchen and we get the base cabinets in, we come in and do a professional laser measure. And after the countertops are measured, it depends on your material. There are 2 to 6 weeks, if it's Cambria, of nothingness in there. I mean, like, while we wait for the top to get in. Sure, you can install floor, you can set your base trim and do minor stuff, but there are dead times in projects that are absolutely 100% unequivocally impossible to avoid. And on top of that, sometimes we have other jobs that we're trying to wrap up that we need to pull a guy away for a day or two. That's just the way it goes, and that's the only way we can make our business work. Otherwise, we won't be here. Yeah, and so that kind of goes. I'm just going to say this here. It is our goal to have people on the job site as much as we can, though. So no, there are times where there's a time lapse in workers below. Already went over the countertop. Shower glass is another one. Taping and texturing, that's another one. Another one you gotta be aware of is workers getting sick or taking vacations or they have funerals or get hurt. Guess what? Like, we don't have an army of people working for us. We're not Amazon. We don't have an army of people just waiting to work. Sometimes a guy gets hurt. Sometimes a guy gets COVID. My gosh. Sometimes a person has to get pulled away for a personal tragedy. Sometimes there's just things that pull away a person from the project. And if it delays your finish date, we are sincerely sorry. But it's out of our hands too. And if we have an extra person to pull to help keep the project going along, we will. But hopefully the production team talks it through with you. But things do happen where guys get pulled off. Now, this is a tough one that I want to go over with you, but I'm going to be pretty stern about it. Project discounts. Now, if we provide and install all the materials that we agree to, there absolutely, positively will not be any price discounting, no matter what the homeowner perceives as inconveniences and time delays. It cannot and will not happen. It has been incredibly difficult to keep projects in line with homeowners' expectations. And we are one of the best in the market. We're one of the best in the market, okay? And even we can't keep it in line with some homeowners' expectations, okay? So as much as a homeowner thinks that those delays or any inconveniences deserve a discount or price adjustment, we simply won't do it. If we provide and install the materials that we agree to, I'm very sorry, no matter even if you felt super inconvenienced, we just simply won't give a discount. People think we're raking in all this money, but it's so hard to get stuff done when we're so far out. And then homeowners think that they deserve discounts and stuff like that beyond the way. And they could be reasonable homeowners, but sometimes they get unreasonable with these thoughts. We just want to make sure that you have a great project, and we're going to guarantee it. The workmanship's going to be great. It's going to be a great finished project, and that's what our ultimate goal is. So, in totality, if these terms above are not agreeable in totality, we will respectfully part from participating in your project. So, listen, I know this is a very, very harsh video, but the whole thing is we want you to be happy, and we want to be happy. We want there to be awesome projects. We want people to say nice things about us. We want to have future relationships with you. But if like what I said was a little too tough, a little too harsh, like that is the reality of how remodels go. That's literally, like, it's not possible to be perfect, but it will be great when it's done, and the workmanship will be wonderful. We're going to do a wonderful job for you. It's just that the process isn't as perfect as people perceive it to be. That's all we're trying to say, and that's all we're trying to get across. So if that is good to go, we'll have a homeowner sign and date in that spot. Now, moving on. We're not done yet. Hold on. Material selection part of this. Now, almost everything we order is custom. Almost. We have some in stock material, but this is a custom tailored project. So, tailored project. So what that means is we can't return everything. If you sign on the line, we get a down payment from you. we order immediately. We try to do it to protect the price point. And so if you got to cancel for any reason, we'll do our best to like kind of mitigate like any expenses for you. But just so you know, we can't return most materials. Some we can, but most we can't. So be careful. Also, for making changes. So we kind of already went over that. But if you make a change, so you're still doing your project, but you're like, I want to change that vanity, but we already have it ordered. You're gonna have to pay for 2 vanities. Is really what that amounts to. Just understand that sometimes, once again, we can't return stuff. Also, if you make a change, it could delay your finish date. It could delay. There's just a lot of things about that. So just be aware that making changes it's every day. It's fine. We deal with it, but it just throws a wrench into efficiencies and money game for your final bill. Okay, so these next bunch of line items: hidden defects, destructive inspections, underground diagnostic inspections, and asbestos, lead, mold, and other hazardous materials. Now, hopefully the rep's going over this with you, so it's in front of you. But those 4 line items, the long story short is, we can't tell what hidden defects there are behind structural items and drywall. We usually, if it's required, we can do a destructive diagnostic inspection and underground inspection. And another part is the hazardous materials. We are certified EPA to do most remediations. Lead and mold for sure. The asbestos we have to bring in a secondary specialist because that's a different type of certification. But we can and we do know how to handle that. That is an additional work authorization. Sometimes it can be very, very expensive, but we can handle it. Payments. Check, please. Please check. If you want to pay with a credit card, anything above $2,000, we will charge a 3% service fee. Okay, now we're just the final stuff. Okay, so finance charges, liens. So finance charges. We reserve the right to charge an 0.5% per month on the outstanding balance. We usually don't do that, but I mean, if you're being a turd, we might reserve the right. But whatever, just pay your bill on time. And if you do pay us, we promise to pay everyone. Pay us, we'll pay everyone. So then no liens have to be filed. Simple as that. Okay. Termination of contract. What this says is we, Accent, have the right to terminate the contract if the client fails to tender a down payment or draw requests made by contractor, or if the client unduly delays in making the material selection for the project. If you sign a contract and you don't have everything picked out, it's a bad idea. Just pick everything out first, then sign the contract. Just do it. I know you want to get the process rolling. If you do sign a contract before you have the materials picked out, the final contract price will change, and whatever, it happens. But do it immediately. Just pick out your stuff right away, schedule with your person, and just get it done. Dispute resolution. If we go to court, which we avoid, I mean, it's unbelievably rare. But if we do, we'll just go to judge and be like, "Hey, judge, what do you say?" And then, but we, we'll just we'll avoid that if we can. Okay, now use of Accent Contracting's installers. The homeowner is not to offer Accent Contracting's installers side projects or any other relevant installation projects on a direct basis. If the homeowner wants more services done, the homeowner is to go to their estimator for a proper bidding and production. If homeowner offers an Accent Contracting installer a project that is not through Accent Contracting, this can result in the installer's employment at Accent Contracting to be terminated. Also, Accent Contracting reserves the right to pursue homeowner in civil court for potential monetary funds lost from such actions above. Do not offer our guys side projects. Don't do it. I love you. I'm being stern here, but don't do it. It's just tough times for finding good workers, and we have really good ones. And you'll see it. You'll love them. Don't offer them side job projects. It's naughty. It's bad. Sign there. So you'll see a sign. Sign. Thank you. Okay. Now, the next couple parts are miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. You guys agree to everything that's in the contract here. Part B, If you go to court, loser pays the attorneys. Part C, assigns, don't die, we need to get paid no matter what. I know it's kind of a dumb way to say it, but like, we need to get paid if we produce we do what we say we're going to do. Governing law, if your project's in North Dakota, North Dakota governs us. If we're in Minnesota, Minnesota governs us. All right, and then finally the contract amount. You'll go over that with your rep. Sign and date, both of y'all, and then make sure you sign and date the awareness forms. And thank you very much for using us. I know this is a tough and harsh one. If you have any questions, though, ask your sales rep, and then we'll clarify anything that you may need done. And thank you very much. Welcome to the family.